My child, I need you to hear me clearly, not with the ears of your flesh, but with the ears of your spirit, because what I'm about to speak goes beyond your current emotions, beyond your recent circumstances, beyond what your logic can understand. You have come to the edge of your own ability, and that is exactly where I've been waiting for you. Not because I wanted you to suffer or because I delight in your exhaustion, but because there are places in your soul that only awaken when you realize your strength is not enough. You've walked through seasons that tried to shut down your faith. You've endured losses that left marks even you don't talk about anymore. You've looked at others moving forward and wondered why your door remained shut, why your prayers felt unanswered, why your obedience seemed to echo back in silence. But I tell you now, with the fullness of my love and the weight of my glory behind every word, I'm about to do the impossible. What you've been facing is not punishment, it's preparation. You think I've been distant, but I've actually been surrounding you more closely than ever. The silence was not absence. It was sacred strategy. I was quiet because I was constructing something behind the veil. I was building in the unseen what will soon be revealed in the visible. I have watched you choose me when it didn't feel good. I've seen you press in when others walked away. I've seen your hands lift in worship, even as your heart questioned. Is breakthrough ever coming for me? And I have not turned away from your pain. I have leaned in. You have captured my attention, not because of your perfection, but because of your posture. You stayed. You didn't quit. You cried, but you believed anyway. You felt discouraged, but you didn't disconnect. You prayed again, even when the last answer didn't come as you expected. And that, my beloved, is faith that moves mountains. I am the God who sees what no one else sees. I see the small, hidden moments, the way you encouraged someone else while you were still bleeding, the way you gave generously when you didn't have extra, the way you forgave when no one said sorry, the way you let me mold your heart when it would have been easier to get bitter. That kind of faith, that kind of obedience, that kind of devotion, it is precious to me, and I do not leave those sacrifices without response. Heaven is now responding. I am opening the vault of what I have been storing up for this very time. You are standing in a divine intersection, where your history meets your destiny, where your obedience meets my outpouring. I'm not just bringing you relief, I'm bringing transformation. I'm not just changing your situation, I'm changing you. There are things about me you could only learn in the waiting. There are parts of my nature you are now ready to carry, not just stories of what I did for others, but encounters you've lived through yourself. And now, I speak resurrection over what felt dead. I speak movement where there was stagnation. I speak clarity into the fog. The heaviness that has lingered over your heart is lifting, not because circumstances are instantly perfect, but because my presence is invading that space. You are awakening. Your soul is stirring. That quiet fire inside you, the one you thought had gone out, it's coming alive again. Not in a flash of emotion, but in a sustained, undeniable burn that only I can maintain. And as this fire grows, I am aligning everything around you to match what I'm doing within you. Do not be surprised when things begin to shift rapidly. Some people may walk away. Let them. Some plans may unravel. Release them. I'm stripping away what was never meant to remain, not to punish you, but to make room for what's truly aligned with your purpose. You don't need to hold on to what I am removing. What I'm preparing for you requires new space, new wineskins, new mindset. And I am not asking you to figure it out. I am asking you to follow me, step by step, moment by moment, with full surrender and expectation. The impossible you've dared to whisper about in prayer, I've heard it. The dream you laid down because it hurt too much to keep hoping, I remember it. The part of you that still aches for more, for breakthrough, for justice, for purpose. It matters to me. I've not ignored a single desire. I've stored them in the vault of my perfect timing. So now I say again, I'm about to do the impossible. Not because you earned it, but because I'm good. Not because you're perfect, but because you're mine. Not because the conditions make sense, but because I'm above conditions. What's impossible with man is natural for me. You've seen me do it for others. Now it's your turn. You will witness doors open that were bolted shut. You will watch favor fall in places that once rejected you. You will carry a peace that makes no sense to the people around you. You will rise, not in performance, but in purpose. And everything I do from this moment forward will carry a signature that says, only God could have done this. Because I will receive the glory, and you, my child, will walk in the fulfillment of what you once only dared to believe. My beloved, I see you. I see far beyond the version of yourself you present to others, beyond the accomplishments, the titles, the roles you fill, and the responsibilities you carry. I see the depths, the unspoken layers of your heart, the quiet struggles you hide, the fatigue that settles in your bones after the lights are off and no one else is watching. I know when your smile is real and when it's just a shield. I know when you speak words of hope while secretly wondering if I still remember you. I know when you tell others I'm faithful, even while wrestling with disappointment in your own prayers. And still I do not withdraw from you. I lean in. I'm not embarrassed by your questions. I'm not surprised by your struggle. I see it all, and I stay. That is my love. It does not flinch in the face of your humanity. It embraces it, enters into it, and begins to transform it from within. You may think that your inconsistency disqualifies you from receiving all that I have spoken, but I tell you, my calling is not fragile. My promises are not built on your perfection. They are anchored in my nature. I chose you knowing the full story. I called you not based on your performance, but based on your purpose. Before you ever stumbled, before you doubted, before you got weary, I already knew. And I did not change my mind. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't failed beyond redemption. You haven't outgrown grace. My hand is still on your life, and my desire for closeness with you has never faded. Even when you felt like pulling away, my spirit stayed near. I have been beside you through every lonely night, every anxious thought, every uncertain step. I am not distant. I am deeply involved even in the places you've tried to shield from me. There's nothing about you that makes me hesitate. Nothing in your past that intimidates me. I'm not holding you at a distance waiting for you to get it all together. I'm drawing you near right now, in the middle of your mess, in the reality of your confusion, in the tension between what you believe and what you've yet to see. You don't have to pretend with me. You don't have to explain yourself. I already know you. And still, I love you, not in theory, but in action. I proved that love with the cross, and I continue to prove it every day by remaining constant, patient, and present. My love is not fragile. My love does not fluctuate based on your mood or your progress. It's steady. And right now, that love is calling you back to the center. I am calling you, not to strive, but to come close. Not to perform, but to be present. I don't want you burned out by trying to impress me. I want you restored by learning to rest in me. You don't have to earn what I freely give. You don't have to carry what I've already paid for. I know the burden you've been under. I see how long you've carried the weight of fear, of shame, of self-doubt. I see how often you compare yourself, how hard you try to measure up, how deeply you long to be seen, chosen, and understood. And here I am, whispering to you now, you are seen. You are chosen. You are understood. You are mine. No accomplishment can add to that. No failure can take it away. You belong. Not because of what you do, but because of who I am to you. Come back to the place where it's just you and me. Where the noise fades and my voice becomes the loudest thing you hear. You've tried to do this in your own strength for so long. You've tried to hold it all together, to carry the pressure, to lead, to fix, to heal, while ignoring the ache in your own soul. But I'm not asking for your performance. I'm inviting your surrender. You were never meant to hold the weight of your calling alone. You were never meant to navigate the pressure of this life without my presence guiding you daily. I want your heart again, not just your service, not just your effort, not just your faith declarations. I want you. Let me be the one who defines you. Let me be the one who carries what's been too heavy. Let me speak identity over the places where fear has shouted for too long. You don't have to carry this alone. That pressure to always be strong, always have answers, always push forward, that wasn't from me. I didn't design you to perform, I designed you to dwell. And right now, in this moment, I'm calling you into deeper communion. Let my peace wash over you. Let my voice reset your focus. Let my spirit remind you that you are not forgotten, not behind, not left out. You are exactly where I need you to be for this awakening, this transformation, this unveiling of what I've been preparing inside of you. So breathe. You are not disqualified. You are not unseen. You are not too late. You are mine. And I'm still writing your story with the same passion and precision that I had from the beginning. I'm not discouraged by your delays. I'm not distracted by your detours. I'm not done with your design. I'm drawing you closer, not to burden you, but to restore you. Come, sit with me again. Let me remind you of who you are. Let me show you what's next. Let me carry what you were never meant to bear alone. This is not a call to strive. It's a call to come home. And when you come, I will meet you with mercy, with truth, and with the kind of love that leaves no part of you untouched. You are mine, and I'm not letting go. My beloved, now that I have drawn you close and reminded you of who you are, I need to speak to one of the deepest areas of your life, the pain you've carried. I see it, even when you try to bury it under faith statements and spiritual discipline. I see the wounds that linger beneath your obedience, the questions that sit unanswered in the corners of your heart, the ache that doesn't fully go away, no matter how much you worship, serve, or declare. And I say this not to reopen what you tried to forget, but to finally heal what you've learned to live with. You have been carrying pain that has shaped your perspective, influenced your decisions, and tried to define your story. But I never intended for pain to be your identity. It was never meant to label you. It was only ever meant to form you, not by the pain itself, but by the encounter you would have with me through it. Pain is not punishment. It is not proof that I have abandoned you. It is not a sign of failure or spiritual weakness. In fact, some of the deepest pain you've walked through has come not because you were far from me, but because you were walking closely with me in a fallen world. You live in a world filled with broken systems, with imperfect people, with spiritual warfare, with generational patterns, and yet you still chose me. That choice alone placed you on the battlefield, not for destruction, but for refinement. You have been fighting not just external resistance, but internal unrest, the kind of inner war that cannot be explained in a sentence. And I want you to know I've been in that war with you. There is nothing you have suffered that I have not seen. No betrayal that escaped my notice, no injustice that went unnoticed, no heartbreak that I took lightly. And while I did not orchestrate every painful moment, I have woven every one of them into a redemptive thread that now runs through your life. Some of what you walked through was the consequence of other people's choices. Some of it was the result of spiritual resistance against your destiny. And some was me, lovingly allowing pressure to shape the deeper parts of you, not to destroy you, but to purify what could not be transformed any other way. The kind of faith I am building in you cannot be borrowed, cannot be faked, cannot be rushed. It must be forged, and it is being forged in fire. You see, pain has a way of surfacing the lies you didn't know you still believed. It presses against your theology and forces you to examine the foundation of your faith. Do you believe I am good, even when things go wrong? Do you trust my timing when your prayers seem unanswered? Do you hold on to my presence when I don't immediately change your circumstance? These aren't theoretical questions. They've been the real battle inside your heart. And I've seen it all. I've watched you wrestle, and I was not disappointed. I was present. I was near, even when you couldn't feel me. And I say this to you now. The pain you've endured was never in vain. It produced something eternal. It carved out a depth in you that shallow waters could never have formed. You have learned how to stand when others crumbled. You have learned how to listen for my voice in silence. You have learned how to forgive when it cost you everything. You have learned how to worship when it hurt to even open your mouth. And these lessons, though born from suffering, have become your inheritance. I am turning every sorrow into strength, every loss into wisdom, every wound into a well that others will one day drink from. You will not only be healed, you will become a source of healing. Because I do not waste pain. I never have. I never will. I want you to look back, not to dwell in the past, but to see how far you've come. Remember the nights you thought would never end. Remember the prayers you whispered through clenched teeth. Remember the mornings you got up, when everything inside you wanted to give up. That was me holding you. That was my spirit breathing life back into your lungs when you didn't have the strength. That was grace. You may have thought you were surviving, but in reality, you were being transformed. Quietly, consistently, supernaturally. And now that transformation is beginning to emerge. You are not who you used to be. Your heart is softer, your discernment sharper, your vision clearer. You've been through the fire and you didn't burn. You were refined. So do not curse your pain. Do not be ashamed of your process. Do not hide the scars. They are evidence of my faithfulness. Even my son carried his scars after resurrection. They were no longer wounds. They were testimonies. And so are yours. You will tell others what I've done. You will speak with authority because you lived it. You will carry glory because you walked through the valley and didn't quit. And when others say, "It's impossible," you will say, "But I've seen him do it." Because you didn't just hear about me in a sermon, you met me in the fire, and you found that I am not a distant God. I am near to the brokenhearted. I save those who are crushed in spirit, and I raise them in power. My child, now that the healing has begun to touch the deepest places of your heart, I want to speak to the future I've prepared for you. The journey has not been random. The delays were not denials. The long seasons of silence were not abandonment. They were a covering, a consecration, a divine pause while I was aligning everything for the fulfillment of what I promised you long ago. Nothing has been lost in my presence. Nothing has been forgotten. I've been keeping record, not to condemn, but to complete. There are promises I made to you that you stopped repeating out loud because it hurt too much to keep hoping. But I did not forget. And now, I say to you with clarity and certainty, what I spoke over you will come to pass, and it will begin to unfold not years from now, but soon. You have entered a shift, not a superficial change, but a supernatural turning point. The atmosphere around you is different because your spirit is different. What you tolerated before, you're beginning to reject. What felt distant before now feels near. This is not your imagination. This is the evidence of alignment. I've been aligning your inner world with my spirit so that you're not just ready to receive the promise, you're ready to carry it without losing yourself in it. Many desire breakthrough but aren't prepared for the weight of it. I would not allow the door to open until your heart could sustain the blessing. But now, your capacity has changed. Your roots have deepened, and so the signs will begin to appear. Pay attention to the small things. You've been looking for thunder, but I often speak in whispers. That recurring phrase that keeps finding its way into your conversations, that scripture that won't leave your thoughts, that sudden peace when you enter a room, those are signs, not manufactured but divine. I'm signaling you that movement is happening. It may look subtle at first, an unexpected connection, a closed door that suddenly reopens, a shift in someone's attitude, a new opportunity you didn't even ask for. Don't dismiss these moments. They are not random. They are confirmations. They are seeds of what is about to manifest in full bloom. Some of the promises I've made are connected to timing. Others are connected to your obedience. And some are connected to nothing but grace. Things you didn't earn, things you didn't see coming, things you thought were too far gone. I am breathing life into them again. The relationships you thought were too damaged, the dreams you placed on the shelf, the opportunities you assumed were given to someone else. I'm revisiting them. Because I am the God who restores not only time, but intention. I will not just bring things back to you, I will bring them back in the way I originally designed, untouched by fear, purified by fire, and sealed by my favor. And hear me clearly. This next season is not about striving, it is about sensitivity. The more you slow down to listen, the faster the fulfillment will feel. I am not requiring you to push or force. I'm inviting you to follow. Let my peace be the signal. If something brings confusion or heaviness, wait. If something brings clarity and grace, move. I will not lead you through manipulation. I lead through peace. I lead through presence. And I am increasing your ability to discern the difference. This is not about chasing opportunities. It's about being found by the ones I've prepared. And yes, they will find you. Some doors will open suddenly, others will open gradually. You will know the difference not by how dramatic they are, but by how much peace they carry. I'm not only leading you into new things, I'm also revealing what I've already placed in your hands. Look again. What you saw as small, I see as strategic. What you saw as ordinary, I see as oil. I'm releasing new vision to see what you missed when you were overwhelmed. And with that vision comes instruction. I will tell you where to focus, what to build, who to trust, what to release. My direction will not be vague, it will be specific. Because this is not a season for guessing, this is a season for going. I'm also surrounding you with confirmation. People you didn't expect will begin to speak what I've already been whispering to you in private. Conversations will align without coordination. Doors will open without striving. Provision will come without manipulation. These will be your signs. And when they come, you will know, this is my doing. I will not share my glory. And what I am bringing you into is not a result of your hustle. It's the result of your surrender. That's why I had to strip you of certain habits, relationships, even mentalities. I wasn't punishing you. I was preparing you to walk in something holy without losing your center. And now, your center is set on me. That's why the promise is safe to release. So lift your eyes, beloved. The horizon is shifting. You are not entering just another season. You are stepping into the manifestation of what I have whispered to you for years. The years of faithful obedience, the nights of hidden prayers, the moments where you sowed in tears, all of it is culminating into a harvest that only I could orchestrate. And it won't just bless you, it will bless those around you, because the promise was never just for you. It was always for the ones watching your life, needing proof that I am still faithful. And through your story, through your breakthrough, through your quiet yes, I will reveal myself. And they will know, if I did it for you, I can do it for them. Now that you understand what I am releasing and what I have promised, I want to teach you how to walk in it. Not just to feel it for a moment, but to build a life that agrees with what I've spoken. Faith was never meant to stay confined to your inner beliefs. Real faith moves, builds, responds. It is seen in how you think, speak, and act, especially in the quiet, private moments when no one else is looking. This is where I want to train you now. I'm not interested in flashes of inspiration that fade with the next storm. I am forming in you a sustained rhythm of trust, a way of living that no circumstance can disrupt because it is rooted in me, not in what you see. I am calling you into alignment, and alignment means agreement, not just in spirit, but in practice. What you believe must now be mirrored in how you live. Begin here. Discipline your attention. You cannot live in peace if your thoughts are constantly fed by fear, distraction, and noise. You must become intentional about what you consume, what you listen to, what you watch, what you allow into your mind. It matters more than you realize. Faith is strengthened by truth, but it is weakened by noise. The world will offer you endless opinions, but my word is eternal. So return to it daily, not as a task, but as lifeblood. Open the scriptures with the expectation that I will speak. Approach me not to get information, but revelation. Let my word become the lens through which you view everything, your decisions, your relationships, your future. When you do, confusion will begin to lift, and clarity will grow, not instantly, but steadily. Second, train your words. Your mouth has power, not just to describe your world, but to shape it. I created with words, and I made you in my image. What you speak matters. Stop agreeing with fear. Stop rehearsing your worst-case scenarios. Stop repeating the lies the enemy whispered in your low moments. I'm calling you to speak with purpose. That doesn't mean pretending your pain didn't happen. It means refusing to let pain become your prophecy. Let your words echo what I've spoken, even when you don't feel it yet. Declare my promises, remind your soul of truth, and speak life into places that feel barren. You will eat the fruit of your lips, so let them be filled with faith. Third, protect your space. You are in a holy transition. Not everyone can go where I'm taking you. Some people were assigned to your previous season, but are not aligned with your future. That doesn't mean you cut off everyone who challenges you, but it does mean you listen for my voice above all. Ask me about your relationships. Ask me about your community. Ask me where to invest your time, your energy, your heart. I will guide you because I care about your environment. Atmosphere matters. What you're building needs clean air, healthy soil, and people who speak life, not just comfort. I will place you where growth can happen. Trust me to shift what needs to shift, and don't fight to hold on to what I'm removing. Fourth, develop sacred rhythms. Don't live reactively. Build routines that feed your spirit. Set aside time each day to be with me, not out of guilt, but out of hunger. The more time you spend with me, the more natural it will become. The more you learn to recognize my voice, the less space fear will have to operate. Make room for prayer, not just in emergencies, but as a rhythm of life. Let worship become your weapon. Let stillness become your strength. And make rest a priority, not laziness, but intentional space where your soul can breathe. I created Sabbath not as a suggestion, but as a gift. And in that rest, I speak. In that stillness, I realign your heart and finally act when I lead. Faith without action is dead. When I prompt you, move. Don't wait until everything makes sense. Obedience often comes before understanding. If I tell you to speak, speak. If I ask you to give, give. If I show you a step, take it. You don't need the full blueprint. You just need to trust that I won't lead you into harm. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for movement. As you obey, the path will become clearer. I will confirm my word. I will open the doors. But I want your heart to be ready to say yes, even before you see the outcome. Because that is trust. And trust is the currency of kingdom movement. All of this, my child, is not about performing for me. It's about walking with me. I don't need your performance. I want your partnership. I want to co-labor with you. I want your faith to be more than a concept. It should be a rhythm, a posture, a lifestyle. I want you to become the kind of person who trusts me in the quiet and still believes me in the storm. And that begins with how you choose to live day by day. There's no pressure to get it all right today. But there is an invitation to begin. Start where you are. I will meet you there. And together, we will build a life that reflects not only what I've done, but who I am. My child, now that you've learned how to walk in faith, I want to speak to the core of who you are. Because while you've been pursuing my promises, I've been pursuing you. Not just the version of you that serves well, prays consistently, or encourages others. I've been after the whole of you, even the hidden, uncertain parts you've kept buried for so long. I know that somewhere along the way, your identity got tangled in expectations, in performance, in labels others placed on you, or in the fear of never being enough. But today I want to reach into that inner space and speak truth directly into the places where lies have lingered. You are not what happened to you. You are not who left you. You are not the failure you fear repeating. You are mine. Fully. Completely. Eternally. Before you ever said yes to me, I called you. Before you ever understood purpose, I declared destiny. I didn't wait for you to earn worth. I gave it to you by design. The enemy has worked hard to convince you otherwise. He's spoken through rejection, trauma, silence, comparison, and delay. He has whispered that your value is conditional, that your significance is uncertain, that your voice doesn't matter. But he is a liar. Always has been. I define you, not your past, not your pain, not your mistakes, and not the opinions of people who never saw the full picture of what I'm doing in your life. I call you chosen. I call you loved. I call you anointed. I call you free. These aren't poetic ideas. They are spiritual realities. You are not a problem to be fixed. You are a child to be embraced. I'm not tolerating you. I'm celebrating you. I created every detail of your personality with purpose. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It's a gift. Your passion is not a flaw. It's fuel. Your voice carries authority because it's been shaped by truth and refined through pressure. Stop trying to become someone else. I didn't make a mistake when I made you. I'm not waiting for a future version of you to start moving. I want to use you now, just as you are. I know you've been exhausted from trying to be enough for everyone. I know what it feels like to constantly measure yourself against expectations that seem impossible to meet. But I didn't call you to prove anything. I called you to reflect me. When I formed you in the secret place, I planted identity before you ever took your first breath. And now, I am restoring what the world tried to strip from you. You will no longer walk with a borrowed identity. You will no longer wear labels that were never yours to carry. I am removing the cloak of shame. I am breaking off the weight of unworthiness. I am speaking over you the truth that heaven has never stopped declaring. You are mine, and you are enough. Because I am is in you. Let me speak to the moments when you felt invisible. I saw every one of them. When you walked into rooms and felt unseen, I noticed